Live here since we're a couple minutes late, but I'm hearing you
Yep.
good here. So we are live now. We'll just give everybody a couple minutes to start getting in here. So, how's your day been so far, Martin?
It's good. Running around. I've already run payroll, paid some bills, and done a job site delivery, taken some phone calls, and answered some questions. So it's been
Okay.
I've had lunch too,
Oh,
and
good, good.
it's only midday.
Okay. All right. Well, we've got some friends starting to join us, so we'll get this thing started here. All right, Tile Friends. Today we have a special episode. We're going to break format a little bit because we have a special guest, Martin Brookes, with us, and we want to try something. We want to try something a little bit different than what we've done before. I really find it valuable that Martin Brookes, having him as a small tile contractor. He's about 8 employees, I believe. Right, Martin? 6 or 8?
Yep. Yep.
So being that you're a small tile contractor, I really want to take advantage of the fact that you're also the current president of the NTCA. And I want to hold these, and we've coordinated this together, Martin and I. Martin's very eager to help the audience of Tile Money in any way he can, and tile contractors in general. He's always done this throughout his career, and we want to make this available via the Tile Money format. And what we're going to do is we're going to get together about once a month, and perhaps more, depending on the audience. And we're eager to hear from you. And Martin wants to answer any questions you might have. We'll have a couple minutes of conversation between the two of us. I want to know what's on Martin's mind. If you haven't gotten to know Martin, he's been on the podcast twice before. Back in April 18th of 2019, the title was Martin Brookes, Heritage Marble and Tile. I wasn't getting very creative with the titles. And then again, episode 130, January 5th of 21. So last year, delegating responsibility, and we dove a little bit deeper into his business, excuse me. Those are both great episodes to catch up on if you haven't heard them. But what we want to do here is kind of just have an open format to the audience. It's good to see you, Aaron. It's good to see you. We've got a lot of people excited that you're here, Martin, and I appreciate you being here. Why don't I give the mic over to you, and you can tell us what's on your mind. I understand you might want to tell us a little bit about the NTCA, what you're working on currently.
Well, welcome everyone, and thank you for taking time out to join me and Luke today. Of course, we met way back in 2019. I think it was a covering show, and they were
Correct.
that was the really early stages of Tile Money. And I think you were trying to find direction where it was going to go, and you've come light years. I mean, it's amazing to watch how Luke has developed Tile Money to help the tile contractors. And I feel like there's an untapped audience out there that could also benefit from being NTCA members like myself. And we want to be able to put the two together and try to have you more involved in NTCA as a trade association, but also benefit from, Luke and Tile Money and sharing ideas with other people. NTCA is training and education. That's what we do best. And we're really proud of what we do. I'm a small business owner, like you said, 8 employees. That's including myself. So me and 7 others out there. And I know there's a lot of guys who are much smaller than me, maybe just one guy and a helper, or maybe just one guy. But the NTCA is also for you, just like it is for me. It's not necessarily just for the large companies. There's a lot to gain from being a small contractor with NTCA. And hopefully we can put money in your pocket, and we can point you in the right direction to become more profitable, and just have this as a platform to share business ideas and move forward.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. And so again, for everybody listening, just start asking your questions, and we're happy to just have an open dialogue here for the next 30 minutes or so. When I was 25, I was in California in the Bay Area, or Monterey, and I received I passed my test, my C54 tile contractor specialty test. And I remember reading the Tile Letter, the magazine that's still in print today, Tile Letter, and looking at some of these projects. Some of them were very large, you know, some of them incredible. I mean, it just seemed like a world away from where I was, right?
Yeah.
But now today we have a lot of different avenues to make the connection between some of the most largest contractors, small like yourself, but highly respected. Here's what Aaron wrote about your, you know, CID award on the Grotto from last year. So here again, I'm just saying, emphasizing this to everybody listening. We have at our, quite literally at our fingertips on our phones, access to Martin Brookes. You know, Aaron Albright was on last week's show. You know, we have access to all these people like never before. So let's make sure
just like, yeah, just like Aaron has Trinity, my guy's Gabriel. We all have that guy, right, that we look to and we respect, and we know that they're going to do good for the company. They've got the company at heart, and you know, it's just having a key player. I've been blessed to have pretty good employees throughout my 25 years in business, and you know, I've worked alongside them, and then got to a point where they didn't want to work alongside me anymore. They didn't want to be next to the boss. They just, and I felt comfortable doing that. And that was the time that I had to step back and start taking care of the business, and move away from being on my hands and knees, installing tile, doing float work, etc., and take care of the business. And that was a hard one. It was hard for me to let go because I was emotionally attached to it. And I wanted to get out there with my boots and my Carhartts on every day and work. But once I was able to ease myself out, which didn't happen instantly, it was over a period of a couple of 3 years, it enabled me to take care of the business much better than I had previously.
So what are you currently, as the new president of the NTCA today, what's on your mind when it comes to, I mean, I know that's a real open question, but I kind of want it to be.
Well, I think any business owner, what's on the mind is you're thinking way ahead. You're thinking at least a year ahead. What's going to be the next curveball? We just got through COVID. We're kind of adjusting now. Markets are looking good. The next few years probably look good, but what's the next curveball? How are we going to make it through whatever is thrown at us? And being efficient, making sure you've got some savings in the bank for that rainy day. You know, just taking care of your workforce, making sure they're trained and educated. All these things are constantly going through my mind. And again, that's where NTCA comes in with the regional trainings, you know, like workshops that come through. We always, when they come through, we always take time off. My guys get paid to be there. And we, a couple of years ago, Terry Hall at the Ardex Academy hosted it. We took a day out, and you know, the information that my guys get from that is invaluable. They take it with them every day, and they implement it every day. So I feel like that's the true value of NTCA.
Yeah, absolutely. So what are tile contractors that you talk to every day? Are they worried? You know, what is their outlook? I mean, and what advice are you giving them if they are somewhat concerned about the future, you know, especially when we're
Well, I think most, Lou, are so busy, they're not even worried. They're not even thinking that far ahead. And that's where it can really bite you and can really catch you at. For me, right now, I feel like interest rates are going to go up relatively soon. So we've got some money in the bank. I just paid off all the loans on the trucks to try to relieve myself if that happens, that I'm not carrying a debt. And so I'm just implementing things right now to make sure that whatever is thrown at us, I can survive and I'll be okay. If you can buy a new truck right now too, because the showrooms seem to be empty, and people are soliciting me all the time to buy my used trucks. But we're good. They're pretty new trucks, but I'm not looking to buy any new trucks anytime soon. Yeah. Because I just think that things need to settle down a little bit with the supply chain, with with probably interest rates going to raise. I just want things to settle down so I have a clearer picture of what's ahead. Because I like to think like my 3, 4, 5 year plan ahead. And of course, as I get older, I'm, also looking for someone to take over the company, which would be Gabriel, and step in my shoes so I can step back and he can run the business.
So what is, I want to talk about that transition between you and Gabriel, I guess. We're not having a lot of questions. We have people in the audience, but I'll keep asking questions if nobody else does. With Gabriel, putting him into that transition period, again, that's what amount of time goes into that? Are you projecting, is that several years, and kind of what does that look like in real time for your company?
Well, we started talking 3 or 4. Gabriel's my longest employee. He's been with me. I've been in business 25. He's been with me for 23 of those 25. So we know each other very well, and with the family and everything, we're close.
Yeah,
is without a doubt the most loyal, hardworking, capable guy that I've ever met. And I suggested it to him, and he's not quite ready yet. And I give him little bits. I don't want to overwhelm him either. So he's got to ease himself in, just like I eased myself out of being a tile installer. He's got to ease himself into being a business owner. And I think that sometimes can be a bit intimidating for someone. And so it's my job to prepare him and make sure he knows the business and how it operates. And so we're going to go through it step by step, how this process is going to work. And over the next 2 years, I will teach him the business.
Couple of years.
Yes, at least a couple of years. And then when I start to step back, I wouldn't do it all at once and just say, hey, here it is, there's the laptop, go have at it. It's going to be a transition too, probably over another 2 or 3 years. Yeah. And so that the contacts, the people who are used to talking to me, then get used to talking to Gabriel. And we both believe we can make it work. He wants to make it work. I, of course, want to make it work. And I'd hate for Heritage Marble and Tile just to go away. We've put too much into it for it just to go away.
Yeah.
So there's something tangible there. It's just not going to go away. And when I was young, I never used to think about that. It's like, you just go out to work. I called myself Heritage Marble and Tile. And I never thought long term how this is going to play out when I start looking at retirement or start looking at a path forward so I can retire, but give something to someone who is highly deserving of it, but can also make a good living from it too.
Yeah. That goes back to that sustainability model, which is ever so important for any business. But when we talk about the trades, right, a lot of the conversation is about training and education and making sure that the tile trade specifically is passed down and preserved as something respected. And so here what we have, Martin has built up Heritage Marble and Tile and been in magazines and surpassed all sorts of accomplishments in the tile world. And, right in the San Francisco Bay Area, it would be a shame to let that, kind of
just go away, right?
Go away, or not really fight for it, not really give it a fair shake. Like, hey, I see the writing on the wall. I see the progression. Let's really attempt to set this up and give this thing, this baby that you've created, this, it's got a life form of its own. You're going to give it the strength and the tools that it needs to live on beyond you. So many people don't think like that. I don't think like that. I always. What is the trick in thinking like that every day?
Well,
sustainable?
Luke, I was always conscious about not calling it my name or anything associated with my name when I created the company so that it could be passed on. And I think it's very difficult sometimes. I mean, David Allen have been successful with that, but David Allen has not been probably associated with the company for decades.
Sure.
but it was important to me that I give it a name that is not associated with me, so it can be passed on. And, you know, Gabriel may take it to the next level. He may have 20, 30, 40 employees. I don't know. Or he may just want to keep it how it is. But then he has something to pass on, that somebody may want to acquire it and make it larger than what it is. And, you know, you never know what's going to happen in the future. But it would be nice for it to continue in the Bay Area and be known as, you know, the proficient tile company, the one who can take on the jobs that most people shy away from. And
Yeah.
you know, that's with the team I have and myself, that's what we've been able to accomplish. And I'm proud of that. I'm proud that I've got people on board who have been able to accomplish that, who have seen that, and who care about what they do every day and are very focused on that, rather than just, you know, sometimes when we have a newbie on board, we have to remind them the client we're working for, whether it be a GC or a homeowner, if we're going to turn work out like that, can go anywhere. They can pick anyone. The reason why they pick Heritage Marble and Tile is because they've been told how good we are. So it's important to maintain that standard, whether it be saying hello in the morning, good morning, how are you, to making sure the room's clean at night before you leave, is all important and a reason why they choose Heritage Marble and Tile. And, you know, that's reflected, of course, in the cost for them to hire us. But if we don't provide that, they could use anyone. They could go anywhere. And
Yeah.
so, you know, with the new guys, we have to remind them of that, of why they work for Heritage Marble and Tile and who Heritage Marble and Tile is.
Yeah. This, I believe, is an attractive business model for pretty much the majority of tile contractors that I talk to today. A lot of my audience, they don't want to be a large company. They want a small niche company. They want to chase the high-end designs. They want to do the real intricate work. So again, having Martin at our access via the Facebook group, he's easy to talk to. He spends a lot of time, you know, and here he is. Let's not let this opportunity slip. You know,
And I'm
whether
more than willing to, you know, it's like I give my phone number out, 415-548-0483.
yeah,
If anyone wants to talk to me and, you know, in confidence, or if they want to have a chat about something, please reach out to me.
yeah,
I'm pretty accessible,
yeah,
and no one will be judged. It's like, you know, I've made mistakes along the way too. It's not been easy for me. I made some way back when. Well, you just hope that you make less and less of them as you go through your business, and we've been fortunate to be able to do that. We still
yeah,
make mistakes. It's construction. It's how we take care of them. It's what we
yeah,
learn from that mistake.
yeah,
And you know, it's like, in my eyes, the customer is always right. We will bend over backwards, even if we have a persnickety customer. We'll bend over backwards to make that customer happy.
mm-hmm.
Because, you know, even though we did that grotto, that's gone. That's a year ago. We're only as good as our last job. I have to tell my guys that we're just as good as our last job. It's really
Mm-hmm.
important to remember that. We may have done stellar work in the past, but if we start messing up from now on, that's not going to work.
Yeah. Yeah, to get to that point, you know, like I'm trying to put myself back in my shoes as a 25-year-old, you know, brand new contractor, and to get to the point of Martin is where Martin is today can be, you know, daunting, or, you know, it looks like a large mountain that you'll never get to the top of. But with persistence and sticking to the basics, some of the things Martin said are fairly basic. Don't, you know, focus, you know, don't leave bad work behind you. All right, we've got a question from
Nope.
Aaron. What is the most important advice you can give to contractors to reach your level of quality?
Well, I think Aaron's referring to tile contractors, right? So it's get involved in the industry. I mean, you know, we all NTCA members this week received the Bible, the handbook. It's get involved, understand, limit your risk, know the book, know the methods, uh, and understand how to make money. This book will also make you money if you read it. What's in
Yeah.
there and the guide that it gives you for each method will make you money. because most guys who are installing tile don't own the book, or they know nothing of it. They've never heard of TCNA. And that's what separates you from the crowd. When you educate yourself in the industry you work in, and you know the book and you know the methods, and you can be an expert, you can go in there with confidence and you can tell a homeowner, you know how to do that, you know how to do it right. And it's not about cost, it's about doing it right. Everyone can take shortcuts, but I walk away from jobs that I'm asked to reduce my costs because it's not worth it to me. It's my reputation. And there's only one way we do it, and that's the right way. So
I think we lost your we lost your voice. Martin said a nuance there. He said this book will make you money. Now,
I'm back.
Okay, you're back. So you said something. This book will make you money. Now, we can go about our day. Anybody who just heard that and be like, "Oh yeah, the book's going to make me money. How's it going to do that?" I don't know. Ask Martin. PM or text Martin and say, how can the book make you money? Because I've heard that several times. What does that mean? You know, that's a very nuanced statement, but don't wait 20 years to find out what he means. You know what he means by that, because he didn't give us the answer. He just said this book will and can make you money. Jane says, what is the single most important training we should be providing right now? I guess
Well, we've done all the gauge porcelain panel training. We've had a couple of jobs that landed, and we're finding that people are being told misinformation about installing these panels, how easy it is, and how you get more square foot in one blow. And we miss every job that comes by our way due to a low bid for someone who treats it like tile and not as a speciality. I would say continue with the training of the gauge porcelain, and eventually it will come back. It reminds me a lot of glass when glass first started to hit the marketplace, and tile guys didn't know how to work with it. They made a lot of mistakes, a lot of tear outs, a lot of wrong thin sets they used. I mean, just wrong things because they didn't educate themselves fast enough to install the glass tile. Glass tile's almost gone through its life cycle, and there's very little being installed these days. But if you educated yourself at the beginning with glass tile, even back then, 15 years ago, we were charging $40 plus to install glass tile. And yet guys were still installing it at $5 a foot, but it would fail. And it would be a tear out, and it would be a very costly tear out. So I'd say educate yourself on the new materials, get yourself up to speed on all the new materials that are either adhesives, thin sets, whatever, grouts, and the tile that's out there, so you're ahead of the game and you can bid it with confidence, and you're an expert in that field in your area, because the work then will just come to you. Once you complete one, the word will get around that you completed it successfully, and the phone will be ringing and ringing and ringing. Eventually the others will catch up, but they're going to make mistakes until they do catch up. Unfortunately, right now I'm seeing on social media, you see a lot of videos and stuff, people installing, thin panels right now, and it's like you really want to call them out and say, hey, you need to stop, but they're going to find out the hard way.
Yeah.
So
I know the NTCA
there's
has
another. I think Chris just asked. Hey, Chris just asked a question up there. It's gone.
I think it was more of a comment.
You still with me?
Yeah, it's a comment
Okay.
that the NTCA, the TCNA book will
Yep.
back you up.
TCNA, don't forget.
Yeah.
Everybody gets the acronyms, it's like TCNA, NTCA, they always get mixed up. But TCNA is the handbook, NTCA is the trade association. But thanks, Chris.
And I
We
know
got to hook up sometime.
Let's give a shout out, as long as we're talking about training. What are the types of training that the NTCA is doing right now? I know they're back on the road. We have the thin panel or the gauge panel tile trainings. What other trainings are out there?
Well, I think right now they're on the road, but there's a lot of they've started the CTEF CTI again, and so they're busy doing that. I did see that. I think they just had one this past weekend, and so it's just kicking off. And I know Mark, Rob, and Randy are excited to be back on the road. So again, look on NTCA's webpage and see when there's a training close to you, so you can get involved. It's a good way. I think it's a good introduction to get to know who and what NTCA does, because sometimes it's very difficult for people to understand what NTCA does. Where do they fit in the industry? What do they do? It's like, how would I benefit?
Yeah. You froze up again.
The Bay Area, I think, later this year, but I know Randy will be doing that, and I'll be there too. So if there's anybody on this call who's in the Bay Area, please join us. Come and meet me, say hi, and I can explain to you the benefits of NTCA and how it's a driving force in the industry. It's not just for the big guys, it's for the one bucket shops too.
I'm gonna post a comment in the comments with the link to the training calendar, and that's where you can see this. It's on tile-assn.com/events.
Yeah.
And we'll get that out to you if you need that link. It should be in the comments everywhere you're watching this. So, well, we're right at 30 minutes, Martin. So I want to be respectful of your time and let you, make sure you get on with your day and everything as you need to.
Well, I'm hopeful we could do this on a monthly basis, Luke, and please send Luke or myself questions or any items you'd like to discuss next time, and maybe we could bring them in on the call too. And
absolutely,
like get to know you. I think it's really important. But I'm looking forward to this. Hopefully, we get enough people interested in doing this, and we can help you along the way, and help you with your businesses.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll schedule this about 3 to 4 weeks from now. We'll get together after this, and what I'll do is I'll keep my eye out for maybe some hot topics, Martin, that we can just address, questions that come up. And then now that people like Rachel know that this is going to be, a monthly reoccurrence, they can keep it in the back of their mind. And certainly if you have a pressing matter, just text Martin, get a hold of somebody. He can even put you in touch with your local NTCA representative, and
again, Luke, it could be about running the business from workers' comp to liability insurance, how I do that, anything that is part of your business.
Yeah.
Please reach out. I may learn something from someone on the forum too.
Yeah. Martin listens to the podcast, and he calls me from time to time and said, I learned something. Something.
There's always a takeaway, right?
Yeah. So I love it. So good stuff. We're stronger together, friends. That's the takeaway.
Exactly. Hey, go Tile money.
All right, Martin. Well, I appreciate your support, and I'm going to keep supporting the NTCA, and we're going to keep supporting each other as tile contractors everywhere. So that's
and just a reminder, you guys out there, support Luke too. He's got to put food on his table too. So if you can, help Luke out.
I appreciate it, Martin. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Talk soon.
All right, Tile Friends. Talk to you later. Have a great rest of your Monday.